I'm Emma Spofforth. I'm the East of England Councillor board member and now the current chairman of the Association of Optometrists.
I'm Julianne Little and I'm the past chairman of the Association of Optometrists.
The AOP chairman forms a core part of the team behind the AOP. The role is held by an individual from within the optical profession for a period of 1 or 2 years. At the AOP's annual general meeting in June this year, Professor Julianne Little handed over the role to Emma Spofforth. We thought it would be a good opportunity to look back at Julianne's tenure and to look forward to what Emma envisions for the role. But to begin with, we wanted to find out more about the position and what it involved. So we asked Julianne, what is the role of the chairman of the AOP?
As chair, you're chairman of the board. So the way the AOP is structured is that we have a council, and that's really the heart of the organisation as a membership organisation. But from council, we have a number of councillors that are elected to the board. And the board is necessarily smaller and has more management of the organisation and the running of the actual AOP. As chairman, I was actually the boss of the chief executive, but at the same time, as chairman, you're trying not to be involved in the day-to-day operations. You're more on the governance side. So I'm really reliant on my board members then to help me do that. And then I also then chair the wider council as well. So board meet more frequently and probably do have more of a focus on maybe the finances, the legal ongoing things, and then also the policy issues that are critical at that time. And then we go to council and our committees regularly then to try to garner and feed in that information and that work that we need.
Julianne took up the position of AOP chairman in 2021, in a time of great change for the profession and for patients. We asked Julianne to reflect on her experience and what she has achieved in the role.
Over the 2 years from 2021, we were still emerging from the global pandemic and indeed emerging from lockdowns, and the nature of the association and how it was working was very much changing. And I think we have navigated that really well, moving to remote working where it was appropriate to do so. Also making sure that we weren't dropping the ball on any of the live and active issues that we're part of in terms of negotiations with NHS England and our other sector bodies. Things that have gone on post-pandemic have actually offered more opportunities for the optometry profession in terms of expanding the role. And we've been central to those negotiations and ensuring that our visibility to offer those kind of services is very obvious. I really think that we, in the last couple of years, have been working harder to make optometrists more visible and the optometry profession more visible in the media and in public health campaigns. And that has been something that I've been very proud to be able to be more proactive in. Sometimes with that becomes, some challenge with if we don't always get that messaging right or how that falls. But I think we shouldn't be afraid to do so. I think we need to. We are such a valued part of healthcare when people access it, but people need to know to access it, and we need to be better in the public health awareness side of things. And I think that's really something that we're increasing our profile in.
Increasing the profile of optometry is also on Emma's agenda. She shared with OT her intentions for the role as AOP chairman, the opportunities she sees ahead for the profession, and the challenges that optometry will need to respond to.
I'd like to support optometry to develop, support new ways of working, whether it's higher qualifications or in the commissioning. That's where my background really is these days. I'd love for us to get a better profile as frontline eye care providers, and we're able to support our optometrists to undertake whatever roles within optometry they want to take on. And this will continue with the Eyes Have It campaign, for example. We need to make sure that when we're dealing with the Secretary of State for Health, that they remember what optometry is there. And I think the AOP are in the perfect place to do that. We've got a good voice. We've got a good team that like to shout loud about optometry, and I think that's something that I'd like to ensure that we get better at doing for the profession, or the profession perception. So I think there's numerous ways the profession has been challenged, and we have to learn how we can develop with these challenges, not only as an organisation but as professionals as well. So Whether this is changes to the NHS provision across the 4 nations, there's a lot of work ongoing with that currently, or with the advent of AI, which is certainly going to be something that we need to be looking at and dealing with going forward, or whether it's the disruption from new working models. We're getting lots of influence from external organisations to the UK that are trying to edge in and interfere with our traditional ways of working, and we've obviously got to knock some back, but we've got to embrace some of these things. But we are also seeing an increase in litigation. It's the world that we live in. It's a situation no professional wants to find themselves in. Legally, our team is amazing at supporting the optometrists. Members need to reach out very early on whenever any claims are raised, so that the indemnity team and everyone that surrounds them can actually do the job that we pay them for every year.
In taking on the role, Emma joins a long line of chairs of the AOP. As one tenure ends and a new one begins, Emma and Julianne discuss how they feel about handing over, the different perspectives they both have brought to the position, and the way ahead.
Julianne has been such a fantastic chair the last 2 years, and I know that sounds very sycophantic, but she really has. She's led the board well, she's led the council well, she's got a fantastic mind, she thinks out of the box, etc., which is obviously the academic bit, which they're a huge pair of shoes to follow on, and there has been some trepidation. The last 3 or 4 chairs the AOP have been really good, and we have had from different regions. Julianne from Northern Ireland, Mike George, her predecessor, from Wales. We haven't had female chairs for some while, so Julianne was great in that role. I continue that role and shout around for England. But as Julianne says, the commissioning, that side of things, it's a different angle, and this is certainly something that our way forward in the future, hopefully, we'll be able to drive. But Julianne's still there on the board. She's there, and I know I can shout to her and ask her help if I'm struggling with something. But her opinions and input on the board will be invaluable over the next 2 years too.
I'm really delighted that Emma stepped up to succeed me as chair. I'm conscious that I come with a certain, we all come with different our experiences and perspectives. And I have had in my day job, I have a more academic role, and I think it's really fitting that actually the next AOP chair is somebody that is living and breathing the commissioning, extended care, and is in a different region indeed of the UK, because that again is so important that we have that broad church within the AOP. And not only that, I think Emma is a fantastic, dedicated person, and she'll do a great job.